Hello and welcome to this week's video. And this week I've finally, after the madness of all the gigs over Christmas, have got a chance to review my new EVH Frankie. So without further ado, I'm going to play you a track that I've played on it. There you go. I hope you enjoyed the track. If you're interested how I got the sound, I'm using Guitar Rig 6 and I'm using the preset called Early Edward. So I'm not doing anything clever myself there. I'm using somebody else's preset, which I think sounds very good, and I really like playing with that. So if you've been watching my videos, you will know that I've been waiting for the last couple of weeks to play this guitar and do a review on it, as I got it for my birthday, but I've been too busy with gigs over the Christmas period. Now, I got this for my birthday. You could maybe call it a midlife crisis. I mean, I bought another Van Halen guitar a few months ago as well, and I guess some people get a Harley Davidson, or they get a tattoo or an earring or a mistress. Well, I've got obsessed with Eddie Van Halen again, and now I've got two of his guitars. Now, I usually like to justify buying a guitar. There has to be a good reason for doing it. It has to do something that none of my other guitars do. So the reason I bought the Wolfgang instead of one of these about 6 months ago is because I thought, well, this is going to be more versatile and I'm going to be using it on more types of gigs. And if you watch back through some of my other videos, like last week's, I'm playing various different styles like funk and jazz on that one. But this one, really, I didn't get one of these originally because it's got the one pickup on it and it does one thing, which it does very well, which I will come to. But I thought I'm not really going to be able to use this on lots of different gigs. But what better excuse for buying a guitar that you don't really need as such, apart from on your birthday, buying it just because you want it. So I just wanted it, that's why I got it. So here's a little clip of me opening my present.
This is nice, exciting. Oh, that's so cool! I don't like it. It's Christmas 1978 all over again.
It's old.
It's meant to.
Oh.
Wow.
It's on chip.
Yeah, that's
It's meant to look like
Oh,
that.
it's very out of tune.
He was the first person to put a double pickup on a guitar this shape. So he cut all the stuff off and cut it out. He wasn't very neat. And then, because people didn't know what he'd done, he put all this stuff in here, so people thought that he had extra special electronics. And he did this paint job by, he just First of all, it was black and white, and then he sprayed more paint on it. It was bike paint.
What's bike paint?
I didn't know they yet.
I
didn't know they relics the neck.
that.
Now, there's something about this guitar. When I was 14, 15, 16, I was completely obsessed with Van Halen, and it's such an iconic thing. I just absolutely love it. I know it's a funny looking thing and a bit tatty. I love the way they put in the dummy pickup and the dummy switch that don't do anything, and the way they've relicked it. It's not overly relicked, but it's really nice the way they've done it. They've made the neck look kind of dark and worn in. Now, it does feel a bit dry. That's the only thing I would say. That neck, I've not oiled either of them. Roger, if you're watching this, I know you want me to oil it. But in the instructions, it says to try and let your hands oil it as you, a couple of months of playing, and it should moisten up from your hand juice. Which it's starting to. That one is already really nice and smooth from playing it. But I don't really need to say much about this. There's lots of stuff on the internet about these. But I have to say that the detuner works perfectly out of the box, and the action. Now, if you go back to my video that I reviewed the Wolfgang, what I've had to do on that is I've had to put some shims underneath the saddle, and I'm going to do the same on this. Now, this is exactly as I got it out the box. That track I did, I haven't touched the action, I haven't done anything on it. In fact, the only thing I have done on it, I put a little bit of sewing machine oil on the grub screws just to make them turn easier on the 2 E strings. But I haven't done anything else. It worked brilliantly out the box, but I still do want to change the radius of the bridge. The reason being, I think the radius on this is about a 12-inch radius, the way they come, and the fingerboard at this end is a 16-inch radius. It's a compound, I think it goes 12 to 16. So in other words, the bridge is more curved than the fingerboard, which is flatter. So what I need to do is put some shims underneath the 2 E strings and maybe under the A and the B string to raise them up, to flatten the string profile. Then I can bring the whole bridge down, because I did actually pick up this one and play it earlier, and it is a tiny bit easier to play because I've done that and I've lowered the action. So as you probably know from the specs, it's got jumbo stainless steel frets, it's got that one pickup in it, it's got the Floyd Rose with the detuner, which, as I said, worked perfectly out of the box. It stays in tune very well. It's got a couple of springs on the back, only 2, and as I say, it's got the aged wood on there. So let me show you what it sounds like through my Marshall JCM 800, which is sat right here. Hang on. So I've got this set. I've got the trebles on about 6, middle on about 4, bass on about 6, reverb on about 2. This is at bedroom volume, because I'm doing this late at night and I don't want to wake my neighbours up. I've got the master only on about 1. I've got the gain on about 8 and the volume on about 8 on the drive channel. It's the JCM 800 split channel reverb, the 50-watt combo. So here we are, this is what it sounds like. I've had this tuned to E flat actually all week because I've been working on some of the older Van Halen stuff, and it's easier if it's tuned to E flat. And I have to say, in E flat, and even in E, but in E flat especially, this is the easiest guitar to play I think I've got. Compared to that one, and I'm going to do a separate video comparing these two, the neck on that one is narrower this way. At the 12th fret, I think it's about 2mm narrower, which I would have poo-pooed as not being something you could notice, but actually it makes a massive difference. So it's a very different neck shape. This is quite thin that way, it's certainly thinner than that one, and slightly wider that way, although I think this is standard and that's narrower than a normal guitar. But there's something about the way this is set up that makes it incredibly easy to play, which I'm really enjoying. So let me just show you, what it sounds like if you back the volume off. That was with the volume on the guitar on full. So in fact, let me show you the detuner. Perfectly in tune. show you how it goes back into tune. So there we are, that's what it sounds like through the Marshall JCM 800. Now I thought what would be a good thing to do, because I've not seen anyone do this, is to put it through a Fender style amp and see what it sounds like clean. So bear with me, and I'm going to plug it through my car Viceroy. Hang on. Right, I'm plugged into the car Viceroy. I've got all the EQ set pretty much flat. So I thought this would be a good way of showing you what the guitar sounds like without all the drive and everything. Give you a good idea of what the actual pickup sounds like. So I've got the volume on about 7 here. Can we play country on it? What about a bit of funk? So there we are. Perhaps it is more versatile than I thought. But I have to say, I absolutely love it. I don't know if it's just the looks of it, the way it plays. It's ticking all the boxes for my midlife crisis. I'm very, very pleased with it. I can't put it down. I've been playing it about 2 hours every day. So the overall conclusion for my review is I absolutely love it. And I'm really glad I bought it. I really like the EVH Wolfgang as well. I'm going to do a video on that comparing the two, because they are different. I haven't actually played them side by side to see how different they sound, two different pickups, but they definitely play differently. So there we are. If you're thinking of getting one, do it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I bring out new videos every week at 7 PM UK time, so if you haven't done already, please hit subscribe, hit like, leave me a comment. I always like to have a comment, and I hopefully see you next week.